not going to complete the entire teaching of the fourth door of the third gate. So like we said, the third gate, what's its name? Noga. The third gate actually has 4 doors, 4 entrances. We explained the first, the second, and last week we did the third, which we also explained that the third and all the doors inside this entrance are actually what? Actually doors of judgment. Where you see throughout the entire month of class that we've been doing, it's all about judgments of life and death, decrees that come down to the world. Last week, what was it? It was sicknesses that don't kill a person, and all these judgments that come down to the world are all put inside this gate. Now, I would love to repeat what I said last week, which was, why is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did this order? And I think it's something that is beautiful. Because you see, Abotai, the first gate, Brit, Tzniut. Second gate, Emunah. So 1, you have Ot Brit Kodesh, which is your purity. 2, you have Emunah, faith. And the third one, which is Netzach, which is what? Victory. It's all judgment. So why is all the judgment after Dafka, Emunah, and Brit? Why don't you put the judgment, like we said last week, where actually the Sephirah of Gvura is placed in, which is Zechut, the fourth gate. So we said all the judgment is actually thrown to the third, which is victory, and actual Gvura, it's all about refuah, it's all about healing. Next week, no, not 2 weeks, shiur from now, it's all about healing and blessing and Parasha and this and that. Inside the gate of what? Inside the gate of Gvura. Inside the gate of judgment. So it's something that doesn't make sense. So we explained last week that actually HaKadosh Baruch Hu did this order for a very specific reason. Why? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to bless Bnei Israel and give them the most chance of being coming to a place of netzach, of victory. So what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? If he was to put the judgment, Gvura, with all these doors that we mentioned last 3 weeks, which are judgment, together, what did we say last week? That the evil and the judgment would eat the world, because they're going to have the key of Gvura, and all the gates are going to be held by angels of strength. Hashem Yirachim. So what did Hashem do? He put Brit, which is the purity, the one's keeping of Hashem's shape in him, and Emunah, faith, before what? Before the gate of victory. Which inside the gate of victory, what's inside? All the judgment. Why? The Zohar says, Lematek et adinim. What does that mean? To sweeten the judgment, that the judgment won't be spicy, strong. That they're going to be sweet. How are they going to be sweet? With the emunah and with the brit right before them. So it's really something beautiful. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu did it in order to give us the best chances of coming to a place of victory and coming to a place of success. We could also learn from that the first steps for one really reaching victory is what? Brit and emunah. If you have brit and you have emunah, or tzniut and you have emunah, you're already completely cleaned, and you can already reach to high levels of success, of wealth, of happiness, reach to high levels of leadership, and etc. Now, this shiur Be'ezrat Hashem will be touching a little bit on the fourth door. This fourth door is one of the most interesting Zohars that I've ever seen. It's truly something extraordinary. So I don't want to put it all in one class, and we're going to cut it to 2. Tonight we're going to keep it a little bit maybe simpler. Then next week, when most of the Kahal is here, we're going to dive deep Be'ezrat Hashem into all the details. So now, like we mentioned, Rabotai, in the previous gates, the previous doors, every single opening to the third gate has what standing there? A malach, an angel. Nachon? Now we said that every single door is actually named after what? Named after the angel that watches that gate. Nachon? So I mentioned we have Padiel, we have, if I'm not mistaken, Tahariel, not Tahariel, the other one that we know. And we even see some angels that repeat themselves in these last 3 doors. The fourth door, which is, this is just a little bit of it, it says that the angel that stands there has a very unique name, which actually the name of the gate comes from this name, which is what? Noga. So like we mentioned about the third gate is called Noga. This angel is called what? It's called Noga. Why Noga? So it says, Rabotai, that in all the last gates and doors that we've been studying about, it says that there's a total of 22 doors or gates which are leaders. Meaning you have 22 angels which they are above all the simpler angels we can call. Because even in the angels there's different levels. So there are 22 leader angels throughout all these gates. Most probably we mentioned almost most of them. It says each angel is like what? Like a different type of light. Which was amazing, that how many letters do we have in the Torah?
22.
How many?
Alphabet?
How many?
Oh, I think you said alphabet.
22. 22 letters. I thought you said 42.
No, I said 22.
22. 22. So we have 22 letters. What's amazing is, like what we know, the entire world is built from these letters that Hakadosh Baruch Hu created. The Zohar Kadosh says, and as well as the Ramak, the Baris Ramonim, which a lot of this teaching is from the Ramak, says when all 22 angels are illuminated, they all shine their light upwards and they all reach and they all focus on one point. When all those 22 different lights, like different colors, come together, what is born? What's born is that light which is called Noga, which he is the angel that stands on this door. Now his job is very, very, very unique. What's his job? The Zohar Kadosh says that when a neshama comes to him, alive or not alive, meaning a neshama that is present here or a neshama that is not present here, reaches to him, like what we know, a pure neshama, a neshama vatzadik, the Zohar Kadosh says, has all 22 letters clearly written and clearly engraved on him. What does that mean? It means that even in the neshama of a person, what can the neshama create in that very moment? Or what presence can he bring? The presence of who? No. 22 letters. The neshama comes to that gate. What presence can he bring to that gate? The neshama of the angel of Noga. Because we said that in the neshama of every single Jew, if it's mitukan, if it's repaired, if it's clean, on its own, he can shine those 22 lights into one place. And he can bring the angel to reality on his own, without any help of any other 22 angels. It says that the moment he is present in front of a neshama, alive or not alive, he goes all the way up to the rivers of the Binah, like we spoke about when? Like we spoke about what? Last week. And it says that there's a little place in the river where there's a little holding of oil, which is actually called Shemen HaMishcha. As we know, Shemen HaMishcha is also the oil that they would rub on the Kohanim, on the high priest, before they would go to do their work. The angel takes some of that oil from the Binah, comes down to the neshama of a person, and he starts to rub the neshama and coat the neshama with that oil. Why? So the Zohar Kadosh says it's in order to have that neshama unique, but it's also to make sure that all the other angels and all the other seraphim and Chayot HaKodesh and Chayot Chashmal and all those angels we've been speaking about, no, this angel, this neshama, don't touch. He's a tzaddik. So because he has that oil on him, it's like a pass. It's like a master key. Master key? It's a master key is a key that opens up any door, nachon? So it's like that. The moment he has that oil on him, he can do what he wants. What he says comes to reality. Whatever he wants to decree, he wants to bring, any prayer he does, it comes down. Even his prayers or his wishes that he makes go up, and they have that sign, that stamp that is stamped on him of that oil of Shemen HaMishcha, and he becomes a very prominent character up there in Shemen. We actually see that a lot of the tzaddikim that we read about on a daily basis, sometimes we ask, we say, how is it possible these tzaddikim, they got to such heights where they prayed and the miracles happened, or they did this and that happened. Whatever they asked, they got. Or any decree they wanted to bring to a fruition, they like we said, tzaddik goes there, v'Hashem mikayem. Like we say, there's even a story, beautiful story about Baba Saleh, that I think it's a beautiful story to mention. I think I mentioned it last year in Eilulah, Baba Saleh. I think so. We said one time, there was a family of a couple, 30, 40 years old, that had a young daughter. She was 16, 17. That they heard wrong news and bad news, unfortunately, that the father got sick. It's a beautiful story, Abotay Mamash, it's a beautiful story. So they took the father to the hospital. started to do all these checkups. And it turned out the father Miskin had a very, very terrible disease that its cure was very, very rare, and maybe the chances of it actually coming to a reality were very small. So they started to go from one doctor to the other, from one professor to the other, and they were not necessarily a religious family. So they did everything that they could possibly with the strength of doctors to help, but nothing helped. One day, the father is walking and he falls. They come to look at him, they saw he fainted. So they run, they start to give him care, they start to help him, they take him to the hospital. They bring him to the room of the emergency room, they start to do all this care. And the doctors tell the family that unfortunately, the disease that he was sick with caught up with him, and from the way that it looks now, he's not going to survive the next day or two. So they said, you know what hope do we have now? The doctor said he's not going to survive, he's under coma. We can't go now to another doctor, we can't take him to another specialist, we can't take him to another person to give him a shot, to give him a pill. It doesn't exist anymore. When they get to that place, it's already finished. Hashem Yirachim. So they said, if it's not that, we need a miracle. So at the time, who was alive? The Baba Saleh. So they said, the Baba Saleh has so many miracles, has so many things that we hear about. Even though they were not necessarily a religious family, they said, no, we have to go see to bring a miracle. So they ran to Netivot. They got to Netivot, they arrived to the house of Baba Saleh. They banged on the door, they knocked on the door. The helper came out, they said, Mechila, today the rabbi is not receiving people. We can't receive him. So the mother started to cry. They said, what do you need? So he said, my husband, we're not going to have Parasha, he got sick, he's under a coma. The doctors give him a very short time to live. We have no hope. We need a miracle from the tzaddik. We need a bracha from the tzaddik. He said, the Rav is not receiving people. I can't help you. Late out. So she said, I'm not leaving here until you don't give me an opening with Baba Saleh. So the Gabbaim, they said, she's not going to leave. And she really showed signs that she's not going to leave. She was a woman of Gvura, of strength. So the doctor went to Baba Saleh and told Baba Saleh, is it possible that we can bring you in this woman? So the Baba Saleh said, bring me this woman and this daughter. They can come in. So they brought, which was very rare for the Baba Saleh. Baba Saleh did not receive women. He never received a woman. So the fact that he received a woman was already something that was unique. They brought the mother and the daughter inside the room. Baba Saleh looked at them and said, the decree upon your husband is final. He's going to leave this world. There's nothing I can do to change it. So she started to cry, she was crying. She said, please, I beg of you, do something in order to bring a miracle. So Baba Saleh looked at them, he closed his eyes, and it said after a minute to open his eyes, he said, there's one possible way where we can bring a miracle upon your husband. So he said, anything you say we do. Baba Saleh said, the deal that will have to be done to bring your husband back to life is that you leave here, and I'm shortening the story a little bit, you leave here, you go straight to a clothing store, and from this point on, you and your daughter take upon yourself 100% sniut. If you do that, I promise you your husband will live, and not only won't die today, he's going to live for many years to come. So the wife said, what can I lose? It works. I'm going to keep it. I say to my husband, it didn't work, then I'll stop. What can I do? So she looked at Baba Saleh and she said, I swear that I'm taking upon myself now that I'm going to keep sniut. So they went from the house of Baba Saleh and got straight to the clothing store, walked into the dressing room and came out dressed sniut, and from that point on they took upon themselves. They're going to dress modest till 120. They were dressed modest and they went to the hospital with their new outfit. They arrived to the hospital and they come to open up his door. What happened to the door? It's locked. Now we all know Hashem Yirachem, what that means when the door of a hospital is locked. Hospital doors are never locked. Have you ever opened up, have you seen a hospital door that has privacy? No. Hospitals, the doors need to be open. So they open the door, it's locked. So for them, Hashem Yirachem. So they start to cry, they went to the doctors. When they arrived to the doctors looked at them and said, we have bad news. What do you mean we have bad news? Said, your husband an hour ago passed away. So they started to cry and cry. He said, at least allow me to go walk into to see my husband the last time before they take him to get cleaned and to be buried. So the doctors open up the door. When they opened up the door, what did they see? They see him like this. What is that? And trying to pull out the wires and trying to pull out the IV. So I looked at him, the doctors got, what? They said, what happened? So he looked at them and he himself was shocked. They started to do tests. They said, we don't know what happened. We know Baba said it's not a unique story. There's so many stories like this, Baba said. So we don't know what happened. The sickness disappeared. It's not there. It's gone. But they said the husband was shocked. He was white. He didn't know what to say. He was hiding something. So the next day, she told her husband, we have to go see Baba Sele. So they took the car, they drive to Tivot, they banged on the door again. They said, Baba Sele saved my husband, I have to tell him to die. So they arrived to the room of Baba Sele. Baba Sele looks at the husband, and Baba Sele says, tell me what happened. The man looks, he said, you know what? I was laying in bed, and I saw that my vision was no longer looking from my eyes up to the ceiling, but I started to see what? I started to see the room from above. And it was getting further and further and further until I found myself being dragged on the back of angels and brought from one place to the other until they brought me to Bet Din Shel Mala. What does Bet Din Shel Mala mean? Bet Din, the court of up there. And he was sitting in the court. He says suddenly, while I was sitting in court, a big neshama, a big person, a strong presence ran and banged into the courtroom. But he said that when this person walked in, you felt presence of something that is a man that is above nature. And this man stood in front of Matet. As we know that Matet is one of there's two betins. One betin of Hashem. There was one courtroom which Hashem is the judge. And there was another courtroom which Matet is the judge. Which is that's for another class of different judgment. Who deserves to be judged by Hashem, who deserves to be judged by angels. That's already an entire different teaching, an entire different world of its own. He said, when I was sitting in front of the angel, this strong neshama came to the stable of the court of the judge and said, I'm ordering you to take this neshama and to send him back down. When they looked at this presence, this man that was standing in front of them, even the judge couldn't say a word. So the judge right away took his paper and wrote on the pitka, like we mentioned many times, how judgment is brought down to the world. This man must be turned down to the world, and they sent him down his petek to bring him back to life. So this man said, Baba Sele, who was this man that saved me? So Baba Sele said, that neshama that saved you was Shlomo HaMelech. He said, Shlomo HaMelech? He says, when your wife left here, I looked at Shlomo HaMelech and I told Shlomo HaMelech like this. They're doing their part here, but I'm ordering you as king, which was at some point king of even Matet, because we said Shlomo HaMelech was king even on the angels for 40 years. He ruled even up there for 40 years. We said that, whether we mentioned also a few shurim ago. Shlomo was the only king, the only man that sat on the throne of Hashem, where he even ruled over the angels. So Baba said, I told Shlomo HaMelech, which at some point was the king even of Matet, go, I did my part of making them keep sniut. Now it's on you to do your part of keeping this man alive. That was a person that actually saved this man. So first of all, you see how the strength of sniut is, but also you see what power tzaddikim have. He took Shlomo HaMelech and he made Shlomo HaMelech swear that he has to go do a job for him. It makes this incredible. And so many more stories, Rabotai, of these tzaddikim, that they bring judgment, they say something, and up there in Shamayim, it comes to a reality without a doubt. Like what we mentioned in the beginning, a tzaddik gozer, v'Hashem mikayim. Now what is that presence of the tzaddik? How does the tzaddik get to that level? What makes the tzaddik's prayer be heard? What makes the tzaddik's will be brought to reality? What? This stamp of the oil that Noga rubs on the tzaddik. At the moment the neshama has this oil on him, what he says comes to a reality. Now, Abatai, like we mentioned, this is something that we all want, would love to know. but we're going to put that aside and we're going to get back to that in 1 minute. Zohar Kadosh says, in this gate, under Noga, there are 4 Kitot Malachim. What is 4 Kitot Malachim? What is a Kita in Hebrew? Class. So class is a group. So under this angel Noga, 4 different Kitot, each Kita, each class is built from 10 different angels. Why 10? As we know, this is something that the Mukubalim and Yeshua Mukubalim speak about a lot. We speak about, even in a letter, there are 10 sefirot. So in every build, there is 10. So in every class, there is 10. Maybe we could even say 10, each one to present a different attribute of HaKadosh Baruch Hu out of the 10 sefirot of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the 10 attributes of Hashem. These 4 groups, which are built from 40 different angels, it says that they are very, I don't want to say scary, but very strong presence up there in Shamayim. Wait for you. So in any case, Abotai, they're a very, very strange group of angels. Why? It is any time a man does a big mitzvah, does something good, those angels, what do? They go to that man and they machrizim. It says that they stand in the center of the paradise, the center of the field, which is the center of the higher worlds, and they scream and they announce, this man did this and this mitzvah, he's a tzaddik. When his prayers come up, grab his prayers, let them be heard. What he asked for, let his prayers come to a fruition. That's in the good case. We said those angels actually, what are they? They are the angels that take a person's tefillah and transport them. So we also mentioned a few months ago what Arizal says. That Arizal says if a prayer was to go up without the help of angels, how long would it take it to reach Hashem?
Too long.
400 years. He said that if our prayers were to just go on their own route and reach Hashem by traveling, doing their own route, it would take them 400 years to even reach Hashem. That the only way for them to reach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu fast is with the help of these angels, which are called Malachi Sandal. What is Sandal? It's like travelers, it's like delivery men. But they take a person's prayers and they hop them from one place to the other. So this group, when they announce that this man is a tzaddik, they're actually the group that go and transport one's prayers from one place to the other. But what happens to a person that they don't like? What happens to a person that his prayers are not grabbed and transported from one place to the other? So it says something that is scary. Zohar Kadosh says that group goes to the center of the palace, like we mentioned, and they announce, and they say, any angel that sees the prayer of Ploni ben Ploni, stop it. Any angel that sees that a certain person asked for a certain wish or prayed for something, grab the prayer and don't let it go up. The Zohar Kadosh says, when a person prays and they see that angel, this is what is scary, it says they grab onto that prayer and they start to hit it and to tear it apart. Where they're so kanaim, they're jealous for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They say, how can a prayer like this reach to Hashem when he does all these bad deeds? So they tear it to pieces where they say, we don't even want this prayer to even go close to Hashem. So I could mention, it's prayers that go to complete to waste. It's better than it going to the Sitra Achara, Chas v'Shalom. But Hashem Yerachem, it's still prayers that are going, pure prayers, that are being burnt, being trashed, Hashem Yerachem. So now, Butai, what can we do to get our prayers heard? It said, Butai, Zachain Tzadikim, praise the Tzadikim, that know how to lesader et tefilotam, שמתקבלים ונהיים עטרה על כתר מלכותו. What does that mean? It means praise and mirror, what a mirror to the tzaddikim that know how to fix their prayer. It's like they said there, it's like to order their prayers in a certain way to get their prayers to not only reach to Hashem, but become a crown that sits on Hashem's head. So what is this order? The Zohar Kadosh says that the tzaddikim, this technique that they have, gets the prayers becoming to a crown of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What is this technique? What is this order? And maybe we can copy it. Maybe we can take some pieces and try to bring it to a fruition. So what is the order? The Zohar Kadosh Rabotai says, make simple. It says, כל המקדים תפילה ומעשה ברצונו ובלב שלם לקדוש ברוך הוא מתקבלים תפילותיו. What does that mean? Any person that before he prays or before he asks for something, this is the trick, Rabotai. This is what the tzaddikim are able to do. Anytime before he prays, before he asks for something, he collects his heart and he does one act which is purely L'Shem Shamayim, one act which is purely in the name of Hashem, one act that he has no intention to even receive reward for it, and that act is what causes one's prayer to be heard.
That's why some people
So if a person does a mitzvah or a good deed, where he says that I'm doing this mitzvah only for Hashem, I don't want reward for it even, that mitzvah brings him to a place where his prayer is heard. Why? This is something amazing. It is because when a person does that mitzvah or does that good deed, when that mitzvah goes up to Shamayim, those 40 angels that are the jealous angels for Hashem, the ones that love HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the one who only give him the purest of the purest, are in a big problem. They say, Hashem Yerachem, what are we going to do now? This man, we don't like him, and if he was to pray, we would tear his prayers to pieces. But he did an act which is really just greatening the name of Hashem. He did an act of pureness, that it was a gift to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the Zohar Kadosh said that these angels are not allowed to hold back a gift that is ticketed to go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, where it's like holding back blessing from Hashem. So what are the angels forced to do? The angels say, yeah, you know what? Even though we don't like him, we have no choice. If we hold back this blessing, this glorification of Hashem, we're going to be the end up ones that we're going to end up being the ones that are going to be punished. So the angels forcefully take that deed and any prayer that comes with it and bring it to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because it is a deed that is brought as a gift to Hashem. That is how a person can bring his tefillot to a place where they are heard and a place where they all come to a fruition. Where one does something and he does it purely in the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that about something that I want to address about the class that we've been doing in the past. But every week we speak about a different class and different shiur and different mitzvah and different tefillah and how to do the mitzvah and what to do before tefillah to bring ourselves to better places, to bring ourselves to higher places of limud Torah, of kedusha, etc. But we can't forget that even though we're doing all this in order to receive something, we can't forget that we must do our avodat HaKadosh Baruch Hu for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Meaning it's beautiful that we're learning all these beautiful tricks of the tzaddikim, what happens up there. But we can't forget that the root and the most important, that when we do what we do it for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, regardless if we're intending to receive merit or not. Where if we're doing everything just to receive reward all the time, how is that really avodat HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So you know all the tricks, and you know all the loopholes that we study all the time, how to get this and how to get that. But does it matter if you're doing it only for something? So in that case, Hashem is not Hashem. Hashem is the reward you're doing it for. Hashem is for the car, for the watch, or for the house. It's not, He's Hashem, not Hashem, the one that we're actually doing it for. And that's why we have to always keep our ma'asim very, very pure. Zohar Kadosh says, this is actually the deeds that one can do that brings his prayers to a place of being brought up, expressed. The Zohar Kadosh says those 4 groups of angels, each group is designated, and they are like the good chaverim, the good friends of a person, that they look down to the world and they search to find each one a specific set of good deeds. So what are those 4 good deeds? Which these good deeds are actually the key to getting our prayers heard. Okay, it's simple. First one, the man who thinks about doing a mitzvah, regardless if he has in his ability. This is number 1. And each one has a name. We're not going to mention names. We mentioned too many names of angels. Let's be simple. Let's do with emunah, and that's it. The first one, they look out for a person that does what? That has a thought of a mitzvah, regardless if he's able to do the mitzvah or not. Meaning just the fact that one is thinking and has the will to do a mitzvah, that thought is already so pure and such a sign of bringing a gift to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Where even if he is not able, even if he, from the beginning he wasn't able to be like Atchila to do that mitzvah, that person, that group of angels, like we said, broke into four pieces. So 10, 10, 10. That one group of the 10 angels, they become the messengers and they become the delivery men of one's tefillah. And that's actually something that the Rabbi Lubavitch speaks about a lot, which is something that is so beautiful. The Rabbi Lubavitch says, if a person now wants to go do a mitzvah, wants to go catch mincha, so he grabs his car and he runs and he does that, and he got stopped by police and he gets a flat wheel and this and that and that. And by the time he gets to the Beit Knesset, he missed mincha. Or any other mitzvah that he wanted to do and truly wanted to do it and just wasn't able to do it. Rabbi Lubavitch, the last one, says that his merit is even bigger than the one who actually went and did the mitzvah. Why? So you're going to say, because he did effort. But those answers are not really... Everyone says those things because he did effort. Why really on a technical level is his merit bigger? So Rabbi Lubavitch says mamash technical answer, which is sweet like honey. He says, the one that ran to do the mitzvah, and he caught the mitzvah. Or he took the car and he ran and he finally caught mincha and he prayed mincha. Maybe while he was praying mincha, he was thinking about this, thinking about that, and he didn't answer amen. He picked up his phone and he answered a phone call, and his prayer was not 100%. So they're going to give him how much percentage of the prayer? 40%, 60%, 80%. Why? Because he did the tefillah, not perfectly, because nobody really knew how to do Avodah perfectly. Only the tzaddikim were able to do the right kavanot and the right thoughts and everything perfectly. 80% of the mitzvah. But the one that ran to do the mitzvah and wasn't able to catch the mitzvah, what does he receive? He receives the mitzvah like he did it perfectly, which no one ever is able to do a mitzvah perfectly. So really, he receives more merit than the one that actually caught the mitzvah, which is something incredible. But we see, Abotai, that even the fact of just thinking of doing a mitzvah, that is enough to bring a person to a place where HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, wow, you're doing it really truly as a gift for me, as a respect for me. That's number one. Number two is what? The man who helps the ani.
What?
The poor man. So a person's walking in the street and you see a man that is in need, and you run and you go and you help him. But even further than that, the Zohar says, even that if a person looks at a poor person and thinks, I want to help him, but maybe I don't have enough money to give. Or you see a Rav, and you see this Rav maybe came to collect money, and you want to give him, but you didn't bring your wallet with you. The fact that you had that thought of wanting to do a mitzvah, that is also another place where it's as if you take the mitzvah, and it's as if you do a mitzvah which is purely for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And as Zohar even goes further. It says, even if you see a man that is suffering, and you feel bad for him, you say, I'm miskin. That little thought of saying miskin is such a pure act, where that too is considered a deed that is done purely for Hashem. Why? And this is why you see all these things have in common. What all of these have in common is that there are acts, there are mitzvot that are done with no intention of what? Receiving back. Because what? You can receive reward for thinking about feeling bad for someone that's poor, or you're going to receive reward for trying to catch a mitzvah and you didn't catch it. So really, you're not even thinking about the reward, because you didn't even have a mitzvah in the first place. The reward is out of the picture. And on the second gate, any mitzvah of chesed, a mitzvah of emet, mechila, a mitzvah of truth, like a person is a mitzvah for one person that's no longer alive. So you do a good deed for someone that's no longer alive. You help someone that is sick. So many things. You see somebody that is sick, you bring him back to tshuva. It's something that you're not necessarily even looking to receive merit for. This is something that you're doing for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Those mitzvot are mitzvot that causes one's prayers to be heard. Third of all, this is something that we can all connect to. The third group The Zohar says, the man that is walking in the street, and suddenly he says, today I'm going to eat not kasher, chas v'shalom. Or today, chas v'shalom, I'm going to do something asur. And even though he thought about doing something which is forbidden, before the act, he said, you know what? Hashem's going to be upset at me. I'm not going to do it. So he stops himself from doing a bad deed, and he ends up doing something good, or just stopping, period, to doing something that is wrong. That person too is what? Is a person that gave a gift to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and his prayers are heard. And lastly, in this one, Be'ezrat Hashem, especially for this group tonight, because like we said, we're a quarter of our group, of our weekly group, those who study Torah. We said that those who sit down and break their head to study Torah, and those who if you sit down and you study from a book, you said sometimes it's sweet, and sometimes it's complicated, you want to give up. Those who do such an act, or even reading the Zohar, what we don't understand, and we read because I say that it's good, or because you're looking to find what page you're going to pull out. Even a study of Torah like that is a gift for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the one who receives big merit. So we say, Abotai, that in life we must search for mitzvot, for good deeds. What's in a day? We say, this is for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm giving this as a gift. You know, something that I never told, especially not in the shiur. I think I told Rabbi Aharon. I think I told you one time. Something that I do every day when I light my candles. So every single day I light a line. It's like an army of candles. One for him and one for him. And then in the beginning it started with two. One for Rabbi Moshe, one for Rabbi Chaim, and one for Rabbi Pinto. Then I added Rabbi Shimon, then Rabbi Zidal, then Rabbi Chaim Vital, then Rabbi Eden, and this and that. And now I have an army of candles. But 3 or 4 years ago when I was in Eretz Israel, one day I was lighting my candles, and I said, I don't understand. I'm lighting all these candles for all these tzaddikim, but where's Hashem? Where's Hashem in this picture? So you can't light a candle for Hashem. That sounds very wrong, because we say that what is the concept of the candle? The concept of the candle is you light a candle for a tzaddik, and you bring down a spark, and you give essentially the tzaddik the merit to have a body once again in this world, because the fire is used like a suit for the neshama, the tzaddik, to return back to the world. So after you light the candle and you do a mizmor of Tehillim in his honor, so you say, look, I'm doing now a parak of Tehillim, we're giving tzedakah, this is for you, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Meaning I'm doing this mitzvah, take the merit. But as return, now I'm giving you merit, as return I need merit, I need help. So with your merit, go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I need this, I need this, I need this, and I need this. That's the concept of lighting candles. So I said, you can't light a candle for Hashem. So Be'emunah, every single day, what would I do? I would take a shot cup, flip it, and put a candle this much taller than all the other ones, a little shot cup. I said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, B'Shem Hashem na'aseh v'natzliach. Hashem, in the name of Hashem, we'll do it and we'll succeed. This is for you, not. And everybody would repeat, I would say, this is not for sacrifice, this is not for anything, this is just a gift for you. And I would like that one first. It's incredible. I never said this in a shiur, that is for sure. Until today, and I challenge, I dare anyone to try it. Until today, I like that one the first. Between that one, which is on a little step higher, and the last one that I liked, which is 10 minutes apart, I've never had a situation that the candle of Hashem turned off before all the other ones turned off. And it started off as me looking. I remember I was in Eretz Israel, and at the time I lived in our home, but my sister was with us. So in the beginning I would light the candle and I would say, wow, that one always stays longer, but not 10 minutes, an hour. I didn't say anything. Another day I didn't say anything. But it was strange. One time my sister came to me and said, what are you doing with these candles? That one always, that one of them always stays longer. I said, you noticed? She said, yes. I said, you know what? Let's do something like this. Let's see really how long it's going to last. And it was mamash like a game every night. You would sit and you would make sure to see it. They would other ones turn off. To the point even on Shabbat, what we would do, we would light the candle of Shabbat. Maybe we take upon ourselves the mitzvah when Shabbat comes in. Or there was one time I lit the candles of Mechila, I lit the candles of the tzaddikim. I went to shul. Then my sister lit the candles of Shabbat. We come and sit down on the Shabbat table. We have guests, and we're looking. Me and my sister looking at the candles. The candles of Shabbat that were lit way afterwards, because I went to shul early, turned off, and that last candle didn't want to turn off. It was like I'm going to live until all the other ones turn off. So it really is something. Sometimes when you do things with tmimut, when you do something with tmimut, pure emunah, just emunah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you a sign of you're doing something well. Continue with that pureness. I think something we should all take part of. So that's why Rabbi it's so important. We always take a little mitzvah every day. We say, Hashem, please don't give me the reward for this. I'm asking you, don't give me the reward for this. This is a gift to you. And if we can come to that place, we can reach such levels of emunah, but also we can bring upon ourselves big bracha. You know, but there's a story in the Gemara. It's one of my favorite maasim in the Gemara, which I mention it a lot, which is in Masechet Chagiga in page Dalet. The story of what? Arba'a shenichnesu lepardes. What is that story? I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago also. We mentioned a lot of things. There's a story in the Gemara where it said 4 tzaddikim went up to the field. Not field where they grow apples. Field, pardes, is what? Up there in Shammai. Who were these 4 tzaddikim? Who were these 4 people? Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Acher, Elisha ben Avuya. At the time he still Elisha ben Avuya, Ben Azai, and Ben Zoma. 4 tzaddikim. So again, we're going to repeat. Rabbi Akiva, we all know Rabbi Akiva. Elisha ben Avuya, which was later on, his name was changed. Ben Azai and Ben Zoma. It said before they went to the field, Rabbi Akiva, which was their teacher, warned them and said, look, when we go up there, you have to be very careful. Why? Because you are a creature of this world, which you have truth and you have non-truth. Now, up there, the only thing that exists is what? Truth. So it says, what's going to happen, Hashem Yerachem, if you're going to go up there and you're going to mention something which is not truth? You can end up getting yourself burnt from dirtying the purity that exists up there. So it says that there's a place in Shamayim, this is what Rabbi Akiva taught them, that it's called Avnei Shaish. What's the translation of Avnei Shaish, Tzaddik? Stones of marble. Why stones of marble? Rabbi Akiva said, because those stones, if you take marble, but pure marble, actual fresh marble cut, and you put it in the sun, and you look from far, what does it look like? It sparks. And that sparks can confuse one for it to look like what? To look like water. Or even if you take a stone, like the actual pure marble stone, it looks much like water because there's little sparks of shine, like a waterfall. So Rabbi Akiva said, when we reach to the place of Avnei Shaish, be careful. Don't say mine. Don't say, look, a waterfall. Because it's not a waterfall. And even for just mentioning a lie, which is not really a lie, it looks like a waterfall. So you said it's a waterfall, but it's not a waterfall, it's marble. Even for that smallest hairline of not truth, you can get punished. So be careful. It said they all 4 went up. Elisha ben Avuya walked in, said, mine. It says what happened to Elisha ben Avuya. Another something happened to him, which we're going to say in a moment. Kafar beikar. He became kofir. He said that there's 2 HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That Hashem is not alone. There's 2 of us. There are 2. Ben Azai went up, looked up at the stones. What did he say? Look, water. What happened to him? He died. Ben Zoma went up, said, look, waterfall. What happened to him? Ityabshta da'ato. Said that his mind he lost his mind. Rabbi Akiva, which he knew what he was going into, walked in, saw the marble, said it's marble, looks like water, but it's marble, turned around and left. Where it says, Arba'a nichnasu lepardes, ve'echad nichnas b'shalom ve'yatza b'shalom. Only 1 entered in peace and exited in peace. And who was that? It was Rabbi Akiva. Understanding this Gemara, we can speak about it in another shiur. I have 2 more hours to speak about this Gemara. I'm not going to speak about that. But I would like to speak about the continuation of Elisha ben Avuya. It says that Elisha ben Avuya, when he went up, he started to climb up from level to level. He got to a place where the angel Matet was sitting down, and like what we mentioned, he had in front of him what? A pen and a paper. Not a pen and a paper, but an analogy. And he was writing Zechuyot Shel Israel. He was writing down the merit of Bnei Israel, which, like we just mentioned, Matet is also what? It's one of the judges. When Elisha walked into the place of Matet, he looked and he says, wait. Matet is sitting. This angel is sitting. Nobody sits up there. Nobody's tired. Here we sit because we're tired. Up there's no tired. The only one that sits is Hashem on the throne of Hashem, Kisei HaKavod. So he got up and he announced, Shnei Reshuyot yesh. Two properties exist. What does that mean? Two gods exist. One is that and one is that. It says that when he announced two properties exist, a voice was announced. It said, Shuvu banim shovavim chutz mi'acher. What does that mean? It means all Bnei Israel, I will accept your teshuvah. But you, Acher, I will never accept your teshuvah. And it said that Elisha ben Avuya, they changed his name from Elisha to Acher. What does Acher mean, translation? Different. Other. Which, when he went up, he was Elisha. When he came down, he was really different. Where Elisha ben Avuya was actually the Rav of who? Of who? Of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. Which some say that actually yesterday was his Ilula. So as we know, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes' Ilula is on Pesach Sheni, on Yudaled in the month of Pesach Sheni. But Ben Ishchai and many other tzaddikim say that actually yesterday. Why? It's a very odd reasoning, but it says that because the kupot, Rabbi Meir HaNes says, L'ad Rabbi Nani, L'ad Rabbi Nani, L'ad Rabbi Nani, you could give tzedakah. You said, Meir, I need this, there's miracles. This was a minhag, it was a custom already done hundreds of years ago. So the people had the kupot and they had to bring it to the kever of Rabbi Baal HaNes. But the problem is that when would they go up to the city of Tzfat, of the city of the tzaddikim, at the time of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, at Lag BaOmer. So people were ending up not bringing the kupot to Rabbi Baal HaNes. So this is what they said. They said they brought the Ilula and they actually changed the date of when he passed away, meaning it didn't actually change the date. And I actually gave a shiur 3 years ago about this, because it never made sense to me of why is the Ilula of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes on Pesach Sheni. Why Dafka Pesach? And we gave an entire connection between Pesach Sheni and Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, which is not for this class either. So it says that Elisha ben Avuya was the Rav, was the teacher of Elisha ben Avuya. So first of all, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. So first of all, just to get things cleared, a lot of people ask, how can Hashem say no to one's teshuvah? You know what teshuvah means? Yeah. Repents. How can Hashem say, I don't accept your teshuvah? So I explain it in a different way. It's not that Hashem didn't accept his teshuvah. It's that Hashem said, if you want to do teshuvah, I can't help you. So shuvu banim shovevim. I invite any of you of Bnei Yisrael that want to do teshuvah, and I will help you to take the steps to do teshuvah, but I cannot help Acher. Acher, if you want to do teshuvah, he needs to come on his own. So that is the mistake of Elisha. He actually understood that he has no teshuvah. But really, Hashem said, I'm willing to help everyone except for you, Elisha. That's an way to understand it. But they all come to a question of why was HaKadosh Baruch Hu so tough with him? Where it said that Elisha ben Avuya, the angel Matet, after he announced that there are two gods, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hit him with 60 whips of fire. So because the angel Matet was so upset that he got hit because of this man, he asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu permission to erase all his merit. Where it said the angel Matet completely wiped out the books of Elisha ben Avuya. Where it's like he didn't do one mitzvah. This is an amazing mara. I guess we're not going to get into the detail. But why is it that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was so tough on Elisha ben Avuya? And why is it that Elisha ben Avuya's tshuva, repents, was not even accepted? Where it says that Rabbi Baal HaNes, his student, one time on Shabbat, was chasing Elisha, Elisha was on a horse. And he was saying, Elisha, do teshuvah. You're my teacher, you have so much Torah in your mind. Do teshuvah and I promise that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will accept it. And what would Elisha ben Avuya, which was Acher, answer to his student, Rabbi Meir Ba'anes? He would say, Rabbi Meir, I heard up there, even if I do teshuvah, they won't accept me. I have no place. Paradise is forbidden for me. So I have no point of doing teshuvah. Even if I do teshuvah, I have no reward for it. So now, B'tay, we can ask the question of why is it that Elisha's teshuvah was not accepted? Why was HaKadosh Baruch Hu so tough on him? And what about the call to answer? Tzaddik, why? Not you, Rabbi Aharon. Tzaddik, why? You. Why was HaKadosh Baruch Hu so tough on Elisha ben Avuya? Tzaddik, why?
He wanted to test him. He wanted to see how far he could go.
No, Hashem said that you have no teshuvah. To the point it's even said, after he passed away, they took him to Bet Din, they took him to the court, and they didn't know what to do with his neshama. They said on one side, he's forbidden to enter here, but on the other side, you can't erase all the millions of pages of Gemara that he wrote. So on one side of the courtroom, he has a big black angel that's saying he has no entrance of teshuvah, but on the other side, he has millions of angels that were created by pages of Gemara saying you can't erase us. We're something that exists. So what did they do to him? They threw him to Kafakela. They threw his neshama to float in the world. It said that when they did that judgment to him, Rabbi Meir Ba'alanes couldn't handle it. He said, how can a student go to Gan Eden and his Rav go to Gehenna? How can a student go to paradise and his Rav that brought him there is going to be floating in the air like a ruach, like a spirit? So he said, Rabbi Meir Ba'alanes went and he told his group of people, he said, tomorrow I'm going to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to die. And when my neshama goes up, I'm going to grab Elisha and drag him into up there. And it said that day, Rabbi Meir Ba'alanes passed away. And when he passed away, when his neshama was climbing, it said that he grabbed Elisha ben Avuya by his beard. And he dragged him into the gates of Lavan Tzafir, and up there he climbed up. When his neshama was going up, he was climbing with him. And it said that he put him where? He put him in Gehenna. Why Gehenna? Because Gehenna lasts for a certain period of time. Then he goes, cleans, and he goes up to Gan Eden. It says that another Tana, another Rav, said, no. How can a student bring his Rav to hell? Rabbi Meir dragged his Rav to Gehenna. So it said that from the moment that Rabbi Meir Ba'alanes brought his neshama to Gehenna, the grave of Elisha, under the grave and from the cracks of the stones, smoke was coming out. Meaning that even through his body, the heat was being felt. Wow. So it says that one of the Tanaim said, I'm going to pray to die today. If I'm mistaken, one of the Rabbi Yochanans, I will pray to die today, and I'm going to go up and grab the neshama of Elisha and pull him out again. So it said that the next day he died, that Tana, and all the Bet Midrash ran to the graveyard to look at the grave of Elisha ben Avuya. And suddenly they saw that the smoke stopped coming out of the grave. So they said Rabbi Meir and his friend succeeded saving Elisha ben Avuya. So they pulled him out again. It's something incredible. But why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu act with such toughness to Elisha? If you look at the life of Elisha ben Avuya, you see something very interesting. You see, throughout Elisha's life, every single mitzvah that he did, you see the concept of importance to reward. And this goes back to his Brit Milah, where it said in the Yerushalmi, which is in the Gemara of the Yerushalmi, not even in the Bavli, Masechet Shabbat if I'm not mistaken. It says that Avuya, Elisha's father, Elisha ben Avuya, on the day of the Brit Milah, he invited a few Tanaim to study Torah. When they gathered, they started to study Torah. Like what the Zohar says, certain pieces of the Zohar, when it was taught and learned, automatically fire would come down and surround those Tanaim. So it said that while the Tanaim was studying, suddenly what starts to surround the house? Fire. So Elisha, Avuya came to the Tanaim and said, whoa, you came to burn down my house? I invited you to celebrate with my son, you're going to burn down my house? So it said that the Tanaim said, no. The Rabbanim said, no. This fire is fire of the power of Torah. So what did the father say? He He said, if Torah can bring you such power, I'm going to send my son to the yeshiva to obtain that power. From the beginning, Elisha ben Avuya's even study of Torah when he was a child wasn't for study of Torah to go strengthen HaKadosh Baruch Hu's teaching, but it was for what? To obtain power. And that was the thought that Avuya sent his son with. He sent his son, go to yeshiva, study to obtain power. Meaning from the beginning it was based on reward. And you see that throughout Elisha's life. But we see that it even said in the Gemara that one time Elisha, even while he was a tzaddik, he saw a kid walking with his father. And the father said, look, there's a mitzvah of shurach haken. There's a mitzvah of, like we said, sending away the mother bird and taking the kids. Which we know, what's the reward for that? Long life. Who told them to go do that mitzvah? His father. What's the mitzvah of respecting one's parents? Long life. The kid climbed up the tree to do this mitzvah that his father asked him to do, fell from the tree and died. So Elisha said, whoa. The Torah said you do this mitzvah, you keep long life. You respect your parents, you get long life. This is the Torah, and this is its merit. This is its reward. Meaning he didn't even think for a second, maybe HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a different plan. It was the reward is, I receive long life. Clearly I don't receive that reward. That mitzvah is worthless to me. Meaning he searched for mitzvah that give reward. It said one time the Romans, they killed one of his friends. And one of their dogs, this is a terrible story, but I'm going to mention it. One of the dogs teared out the tongue of that Tana. And the dog was walking with the tongue of that tzaddik in his mouth. And Elisha said, look, that tongue that taught Torah its entire life, that tongue, look at its reward that it received. Look at its gift. Meaning, showing a lack of respect to a mitzvah that does not bring reward. What did we mention that Elisha would answer when Rabbi Meir would tell him, do teshuvah? What would he tell him? He said, they told me up there I'm not going to receive paradise. Why should I do teshuvah? Even if I do teshuvah, I have no place. So I'm doing it only for myself. If I don't have any reward, I don't have any gift that comes in the end, it's worth nothing. That's what we say. Karov Hashem lekol koreav. Kol Hashem kru be'emet. Hashem is close. Hashem brings close to Him all those who are with Him. But all those who are with Him, be'emet. Truly with Him. Not with Him because of, or with Him to get something. With Him because they're with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that Abotay is something that we should all learn. That's what we can see the mistake that Elisha did. Where he searched for mitzvot that brought reward. And we cannot search for mitzvot that bring reward. We want to have success, we must search for those mitzvot that are just gifts to Hashem. There's a beautiful story here I'm going to finish. Of a Chassid, big tzaddik. One time, wanted an opportunity for a mitzvah of achnasat kala came to him. What does that mean? We know that there's a mitzvah, whenever there's a bride or a groom or a young couple need to get married, but they don't have the funds to get married, one of the biggest mitzvot in the world, to help them get married. So a poor couple came to this tzaddik, and I told tzaddik, we have no money to get married. If we don't collect a certain amount of money, we're going to have to break the wedding. We have no choice. So that tzaddik went to the city and started to raise money, and everyone said, we have no money to give you. We have no money to give you. We gave all our money to tzedakah. So after days of trying to raise money, they raised nothing. So I said, who can I go to that didn't give tzedakah yet, that I can raise money from? So they said, there's the Rasha, that anyone that goes to ask money, takes a penny, he throws on him and says, get out of my face. He's the only one that didn't give it tzedakah yet. If you go to him, if he gives you tzedakah, he's willing, he has the ability at least to give you everything. Inspire him and he'll give you everything. And he'll give you all what you need. The Chassid said, you know what? If that's what I have to do, that's what I'll do. So he went to the house of this wealthy man. He started to talk to him, started to warm his heart. He said, there's a big mitzvah. He said, God, please help me. So what did this rich man say? He said, no problem. I'll give you how much money you need. 1,000? I'll give you even 1,100. give more to the Khatan and Kala. But I want something from you. I said, what? He said, I want you to take a piece of paper and write that your Olam Haba, all your paradise, every single mitzvah you did throughout your entire life belongs to me. If you write me your Olam Haba, if you write me your place up there, your paradise that you worked for, I give you the money. The Hasidim, his students, when they saw this, they said, we're going to kill him. We're going to kill him. He said that to our Rav, that's it. We're going to jump, that's it. We're going to, like Rabbi Aharon, when someone moves left or right, I see Rabbi Aharon is already sharpening his Kohen knife behind, under the table. So the Rav stops his student and says, wait, we have a deal. Bring me a contract, we sign the contract. The student said, what? They bring the contract, he said, me, this tzaddik, is signing my Olam Haba to this and this person for amount of this and this that is going to be given to Achnasat Kala. And it said that the students the entire time were sweating and they were red and they wanted to really kill the man. Their chassid, their Rav, their biggest tzaddik is being forced to sell his Olam Haba to do a mitzvah. So afterwards, when they finished the deal and they left, the tzaddik looked at his student and said, you don't even know how much happiness I brought Hashem. He said, how you brought happiness? Rav, you sold your Olam Haba. He said, I proved to Hashem that all the mitzvot that I'm doing is not for a gift. I proved to Hashem now that everything that I did just for him. So I have no problem giving it back to someone else, to do another mitzvah. So you see, Abotai, what merit it is when a person does a mitzvah, which is L'Shem Shamayim. So may HaKadosh Baruch Hu keep our hearts always pure, and we will always walk in the derech of Torah and the derech of mitzvot, where Be'ezrat Hashem we will always be able to fulfill HaKadosh Baruch Hu's will, but with pure intentions. Amen. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu fulfill all our wishes and bless us with all the blessings. Amen. Tov, Abotai, any questions?